My name's Dr. Richard Unsworth. I am a founding director of the newly formed charity Project Seagrass. We're a globally focused charity that seeks to conserve seagrass ecosystems through education, influence and research. Seagrass meadows are one of the most important ecosystems on our planet. Many people have actually described seagrass meadows as being the prairies of the sea. That's because they're actually so productive. They're comparable to tropical rainforests. They're producing so much carbon that it's actually being stored in sediments and locking vast amounts of carbon dioxide out of our atmosphere and into the sediments of the sea. These ecosystems really are important and need global protection. Seagrasses are actually present on all continents of the world except for the Antarctic. And despite the fact that we know they're so productive, we know they're so actually important, they've been lost at alarming rates, at rates potentially as high as 2 football pitches actually per hour. Those rates are equal to the loss of coral reefs, which we hear a lot about, but unfortunately we don't actually hear a lot about the loss of seagrass meadows. Seagrass meadows are being lost because of poor water quality, because of the impacts of boat damage through anchors and permanent moorings, through disturbance in the coastal zone, through coastal development. Many factors are actually contributing to the loss of seagrasses. We need to stop that. We need to prevent the further loss of seagrasses. Actually stopping the loss of seagrass is critical for what we see behind us, which is actually an important fishing industry in the south coast of Cornwall. And essentially, without seagrasses and many other coastal habitats, we wouldn't actually have a fishing industry. Not just fishing industries in Cornwall, but fishing industries in North America, in the south coast of Australia, in the Indo-Pacific. Many hundreds of millions of people actually take their daily protein needs from fish that actually spent their early years living in a seagrass meadow. So actually protecting that resource is actually critical to the food security of hundreds of millions of people. It's very easy to actually preach and suggest that we can actually save these important ecosystems. Actually finding that solution and undertaking that action is much more difficult. But as individuals, we can actually do a lot to contribute to preventing that loss. Firstly, we can tell other people about why seagrasses are actually important, educate people, so that the next time they're out in a boat, next time they're using an anchor, next time they're actually using a mooring, maybe they actually will reduce the damage of that boat. Potentially the next time they dump some rubbish in a river, or they damage a river bank, or they put fertilizer on their plants, maybe they'll think twice about doing that, because actually those small actions at a large level, when many people actually take them, can have actually a significant contribution to improving the health of the world's seagrasses. At Project Seagrass, we're trying to educate people, trying to let people know why seagrasses are important by conducting 2 key campaigns. One is the 1 hectare campaign, which is what this t-shirt is actually about, and that's about getting local people to think about how they can save their local hectare of seagrass, what they can actually do as individuals to contribute to safeguarding a future for the world's seagrass. 1 hectare of seagrass can actually produce 100,000 litres of oxygen per day. Now that's a lot of oxygen that we breathe. 1 hectare of seagrass can actually support up to 80,000 fish and 100 million invertebrates. That is a huge productivity for our coastal seas. 1 hectare of seagrass actually stores per year the equivalent carbon dioxide emissions of an average small UK car. 1 hectare of seagrass is thought to actually absorb 1.2 kilograms of nutrients per year. That's the equivalent to the treated effluent from 200 people. Seagrass, it actually helps feed us. That is critical for our long-term food security. Let's actually help save 1 hectare of seagrass. We also have a campaign that is trying to actually teach people why seagrasses are so important, and that's our campaign called For Cod's Sake. And that actually comes from research that myself and others have done to actually examine why seagrasses are actually important for individual species of fish as juveniles. And we know that the Atlantic cod, which is still one of the world's biggest fisheries, is actually very much closely linked to seagrass, and that's because the juveniles spend critical periods of their life in that habitat. So finally, actually protecting seagrasses is about people taking action, people telling others, educating people. One of those ways that people can actually get involved with that is to make contact with Project Seagrass, to help support Project Seagrass and join our actual campaigns. And you can visit us at our new website, www.projectseagrass.org, and join our campaigns. Thank you.